here's a Whack-A-Mole CD edition, Whack-A-Mole number 64. And I want to thank Bob Bradley for the last intro of 63 with his 6-3. And yeah, okay, people were bitching. They think it's rigged. Of course, Kentucky, the last one, if you watch number 63, it was a setup. It was basically an homage to Kentucky because Bob and Belinda Murphy and several other people in the vinyl community are from Kentucky. So come on, give me a break. I love music about Kentucky. Anyway, this is a CD CD edition of Whack-A-Mole number 64. When I get older, losing my hair many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine, whatever, bottle of wine, martini, anything? Now, yeah, I'm bald. Those of you who watch me, I have done 1 or 2 bald editions of my video productions here. Okay? Hat keeps my head warm and protected from the sun, from the ultraviolet rays. Also, I get a kick out of watching all you folks that haven't got haircuts, that are bitching that because their hair's getting over here like an inch this way. And it's such a big deal. You watch the news people and people, the pundits on the talk shows, and they're all kind of bitching and can't get a haircut. Just give me a break. That's why it's great. Twice a week I do my own buzz. You know, these hands are good for something. Okay, Whack-A-Mole, when I do the CD editions, I pick 10. I'll do 5 and then 5, and we'll have at it. So, let's do it. Oh, by the way, in the background, I don't know if you can hear it, but I've been playing this like non-stop. This is the Grateful Dead box from 1976. Came out several months ago. The Grateful Dead, June 1976, limited edition. And it's East Coast, let's see, it's Capitol Theater, Passaic, New Jersey, Beacon Theater, New York, Boston Music Hall, etc., etc., Beacon Theater. I tell you, I'm a deadhead. I'm not a completist, but I do buy a lot of things. There's no vinyl version of this as of yet. Usually when they put these out, there's at least like maybe a 2 or 3 disc vinyl, but there hasn't been. But I want to say, this is one of the goddamn best fucking Grateful Dead sets I've heard in a long time, and I've been playing it non-stop down my office while I try to do some work, and it's beautifully designed. I think it's about 150 bucks, but it's like, how many is it 8? 2, 4, 6, it's about 10, 12 CDs, I forgot. Anyway, highly recommended if you're a Dead person. Really great sounding stuff, 1976, so still with the God Show husband and wife team. We're still in the band then. Here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do the other side after the first 5. Good one. Okay, Peter Gabriel had his label Real World Music. I'm a big fan of that during the CD era. I've gotten so many of the international versions where they have the little color-coded from continents. And what this is the Passion Sources. And what that is, Peter Gabriel did the soundtrack to the Martin Scorsese film Last Temptation of Christ, which is by far one of my favorite Peter Gabriel's. Very percussive, organic, Middle Eastern, a lot of fusing of Western and Middle Eastern rhythms and music. And what this is, they put out a companion. I think it came out after Passion. It's the sources, and it's some of the vocals, the instrumentations of some of the music he used, traditional music and international music from Morocco and Tangiers and all kinds of Benga. Anyway, source is the original versions, original full cuts of the songs and some of the pieces of music that would influence and he used in the soundtrack for The Passion of the Christ. And just love it. Again, Real World was that wonderful label. Jeffrey Oriyama was on it, a African artist who I'm a big fan of, and I actually showed one of his albums recently because they issued it several years ago on vinyl. But this is mostly during the CD era. Okay, one of the best of the 70s live records, just an amazing record, Lou Reed. Lou Reed is someone I did not show in my Jewish video, but Lou Reed was Jewish. If you haven't seen the Jewish video, if you only watch Whack-A-Moles, there's a great video I did with Greg from Vinyl Rundown over the weekend on Jewish artists, musicians. And anyway, Lou Reed, this is a great, this got a lot of airplay on the FM stations in around mid-70s, 73 I believe this came out, possibly. It was recorded in 73. But the version of Rock and Roll, that closes 9-minute version, has this amazing guitar solo. And of course I'm gonna forget who plays guitar on it. And it's someone very obvious. Dick Wagner plays guitar. It's just a really cool solo that goes on for a long time with some great phase shifting. It opens up with the great intro into Sweet Jane, Heroin, Caroline Says I, White Light, White Heat. So it's probably the best Lou Reed live album. There's other ones later on which are nice, but I would say this is an essential record for any rock and roll fan. And if you're a Lou Reed fan and you don't have this record, you shouldn't call yourself a Lou Reed fan. This is oh God. Okay, I want to make sure something's on here. The Golden Age. Okay, yeah. Cracker was a sort of a spin-off, but Bill Graham management at the time. Okay, anyway, Cracker. This came from the ashes of Camper Van Beethoven. Dave Lowry is the main singer. Cracker made several albums, really good records. I believe were they on Virgin Records? I thought they were. Yeah, Virgin Records. Now, there's a song on here that to me is one of the most amazing songs and my favorite all-time Cracker song, and I play it all the time. In fact, when I have this in my car on my phone and it's playing, the song Big Dipper, I repeat it 3 or 4 times in a row. It's a beautiful, slow, dirgy song, kind of about Santa Cruz. Camper Van Beethoven sort of came out of Santa Cruz area. Same with Cracker. And I did see, there was a show about 2-3 years ago here at the Crocodile in Seattle that Camper Van Beethoven and Cracker shared the bill. Basically, David Lowry in both bands. Fantastic. I saw Camper Van Beethoven back in the day, in the early sort of post-punk, punky days. Take the Skinheads Bowling was their sort of a more main song of note. But Cracker just did some great records. And I have one of them, I believe, on vinyl. I'd like to get all these on vinyl. Not quite sure if they were reissued at the time. They might have come out, but I never got them at the time. But the song Big Dipper, I urge you all to go listen to Big Dipper, that song. It's just, there's something about the lyrics. The Big Dipper is the big roller coaster on the boardwalk in Santa Cruz, about 2 hours south of San Francisco, California. U2. Now, U2 is interesting to me and to many people. A lot of people like myself, we got on the bandwagon. This is the best of U2, 1990 to 2000. I got into them. There was an amazing live performance on the David Letterman show that was really good. I think I Will Follow was the song. And then they played, I saw their very first American tour, played a small club, several hundred people, the Old Waldorf in San Francisco, Bill Graham Club. And they played, they were fantastic. And I followed them through their first album, Boy, through War. Well, anyway, the first few albums. I even liked them through Joshua Tree and beyond. And then I kind of fell off. There's some about pretense that people either love or hate the Bono thing, where Bono is in every documentary and everything. However, I love Zooropa, and I love One. The song One, is that on Zooropa, or is that's on one of those albums? I kind of fell off them, and I don't really listen to them lately, and I never pulled to listen. What's great about this is a great CD comp. Has the best of those years on one disc, and the second disc is single B-sides. So a recommended disc, but you know, I can't, to be honest with you, I can't tell you the last time I pulled it out to listen to it. Okay, next, my good friend Vernon worked for a label that distributed a lot of these collectible reissues and things. If you don't know my friend Vernon, he really influenced me a lot in the country music and roots music, and he's the one I did a whole eulogy video on. He passed away last year, hired me in a rec store when I was 19. This is Peter and Gordon, these twofers that came out. These came out in late 90s, so I'd get, you know, free copies of all these things. It's a good way to package this old music as twofers. Two records definitely fit on one compact disc. Not great artwork, kind of cheesy in a way. This is I Go to Pieces and True Love Ways. So those are the two albums, not two of their finest. I would say these are more interesting albums by them, these four albums. Peter Asher, of course, sister of Jane Asher, who dated Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney, only Beatle connection. Paul McCartney lived at the Asher residence with Peter and Jane and their parents. Peter Asher became obviously part of Peter and Gordon, had a bunch of hits that Lennon and McCartney wrote for them. And later on, Peter Asher became a great manager and producer for artists like James Taylor, who was the first artist signed to Apple Records, for Linda Ronstadt, and many others. And very prolific producer, arranger. So, and now five more. Go on the other side of the settee. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Oh, I am calling you. One of the best songs, I think, one of the great cowboy songs is Indian Love Call. Indian Love Call by the great Slim Whitman. Now, if you don't know Slim Whitman by name, look at that mustache. That's a fucking look. That's a cool look. Vintage collections, Slim Whitman. If you saw the film, the problematic but interesting, fun film by Tim Burton called Mars Attacks, playing the song Indian Love Call by Slim Whitman killed the aliens, killed the Martians, saved Earth. Maybe we need to play this, just go drive around with those trucks with speakers on the roof around the world, around America, around the rest of the world, the UK, Russia, the Middle East, South America, Africa, and play Slim Whitman's Indian Love Call. I am calling you. You know it, and you love it. If you don't, you're not a musicologist, and you have shitty taste. Great collection, great fabulous collection, Capitol Records, I think. Yep, Capitol Records. Anyway, Slim Whitman. These are some good ones, some offbeat stuff today, for the most part. Well, okay, Hamilton Camp. Hamilton Camp is not a place to go boating and skiing. and hanging out with other campers. But Hamilton Camp was a folk singer. He was had a cult status in the 60s and into the 70s. Some people might know him he became an actor too, and throughout the 70s he was on some TV shows and sitcoms. Some of you who are into the psychedelic San Francisco scene of the 60s know at least one of his songs. Pride of Man was on the very first Quicksilver Messenger service. Turn around, go back down, back the way you came. It was written by Hamilton Camp. So, if you look on your first Quicksilver Messenger service with the black cover with the great Quicksilver Messenger service logo, you'll see that Hamilton Camp authored Pride of Man. On here he covers Chet Powers' Get Together. Chet Powers, of course, is Dino Valenti, another Quicksilver connection, and the song Dino's song on the first Quicksilver Messenger service too. But folk singer, you know, with your harmonica. So this is a reissue again. I think he was on Vanguard Records, I believe, originally. Hamilton Camp. One of my favorite bands you've seen me do a whole feature on is Procol Harum. This is great. This is an expanded version of, has one extra track, a live track. This was 1971 or 2, I believe. This originally came out. The great Procol Harum. You all know Whiter Shade of Pale. That is not on this, but this has the best version of Conquistador. Conquistador was on their first album ever, but this is the better version of it. This is live with a symphony orchestra. It's got amazing drumming on this. B.J. Wilson, their drummer at the time, the original drummer. It's just awesome on this record. So love this record. Love Gary Booker singing. Love me some Procol Harum. So I suggest, this is a really good sounding record. Pick this one up. This was on A&M Records. This was actually a hit. This made the charts back when this came out. So Procol Harum. Okay, now we're on to, Without a Safety Net, The Doors. This is from one of many box sets, CD box sets of The Doors. I believe this is disc 1 out of 4 discs I think. This is Without a Safety Net, and this has some demo versions and outtakes. Demo, the Sunset Sound version, Moonlight Drive, Rock is Dead. It's got The End of the Night, My Eyes Have Seen You, 5 to 1. So this box set, as I recall, mixes up the key hero versions of the songs, plus some outtake versions and demo versions. Kind of a nice box set. I think it was, as I recall, and I could be wrong, this might have been the first box set that they released under the Doors name in the CD era. And of course, I don't remember right now. Someone will tell me. So the Doors, what can I say? Jim Morrison. Now, this is interesting. This was a direct Garrett Morris. God, I forgot what this. Garrett Pierce. I think this was someone that I met once and gave me a CD. And to be honest with you, I do not remember. See, I'm honest when it comes to whack-a-moles. I don't shit you except when I'm doing a Kentucky whack-a-mole. That's Garrett Morris, and I have no idea who that person is anymore. This is called Like a Moth. Garrett Morris was in Saturday Night Live. Davis, California, so maybe he was a college student there. Oh, I know. Okay, never mind. I know why I have this. The archivist designed this package. I apologize. I totally forgot. The archivist, Amanda, designed this CD package, and I got it from her, or I bought it from her to support the artist Garrett Pierce. Kind of indie, folky music, as I recall. Now I remember it. See, I have to look. You have to look and you have to be reminded. Yeah, she did the layout, and there's a photographer, Matt Bauer. But anyway, Garrett Pierce, designed by the great archivist Amanda, and in Mazzy's collection. So it comes back to the archivist. That's Whack-A-Mole number 64, a compact disc edition. Thank you for watching Mazzy Loves You, and stand by for more collaborations throughout the following weeks. Take care, vinyl community and CD community. And music, just music community. We can all just like music. Fuck the formats.